Hello, my name is Hassan Sorrells, and this is the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast, Shorts. There's no co-host on these Shorts episodes. These are now around 6 to 8 minute long observations, ideas, thoughts, or rants about the literature, philosophy, psychology, and even the theology of leadership. Because listening to me talk about leadership for now around 6 to 8 minutes is still better than reading and trying to understand yet another business book. Even that business book that has been sitting in your Amazon queue that you just haven't been able to bring yourself to purchase for around the last 6 months. The money isn't in selling the cure. The money is in managing the symptoms of the disease. This is often a rhetorical canard that's thrown like a grenade with the pin pulled by the cynical against Big Pharma, particularly in light of their pharmaceutical overreaction to the recent pandemic, as well as the oversubscribing of opioids to millions of people in pain. And at the bottom of such a canard, or accusation, lies a kernel of truth, buried under bitterness, envy, jealousy, covetousness, and of course all the rest. And the kernel of truth is this: there is no selfish benefit to eliminating a problem and creating a solution. Solutions are hard, messy, unpredictable, and fundamentally rebellious. This is why when a solution to a long-standing problem is proposed, it usually bubbles up and out from the edges of a decision-making and critical thinking schema where people and interests aren't in power, have no skin in the game of the continuation of the problem, and where they don't care if the people at the center of profiting from the problem continue to profit or not. Solutions are typically wild and incautionary. Solutions are the ultimate moonshot. They just might not work. And if they don't, the collapse into chaos might be worse than the current problem, which is, of course, being managed at the highest possible level by the smartest possible people in human history. Because solutions to problems are often offered by people with little to no franchise, they are often dismissed. But by the time that happens, the person offering the solution is well on their way down the road to solving yet another seemingly unsolvable problem. And the status quo observers, comfortable and smug, not only have no idea where the puck is going, they have little idea that the hockey game is even on in the first place. Solutions to problems often can't be monetized right away or financialized down to the nth degree because they create models of reality that are new, exciting, and sometimes revolutionary, or even reformative, depending upon which end of the solution stick happens to be pointing at you. The best solutions to problems, particularly problems bedeviling the human condition, are the solutions that come from the past. Partially, this is because the hubris of progressive thinking cannot allow for the past to be anything but a dustbin. Partially, this is because things are forgotten, like wisdom, that underlie solutions to present problems, requiring time and tide to attain. And partially, the best solutions come from the past because if we as moderns or postmoderns thought more cyclically rather than progressively, we would realize the truth of a wisdom that comes from times long past, but that eventually cycles into, the now and the future. That which will be done has been done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Fortunately for us postmoderns with pre-modern problems, the payment for this wisdom and the application to postmodern solutions to our mostly pre-modern problems is a debt that always taps us on the shoulder from the past and can never fully be repaid. And thank God for that. And that's it for me. Thank you for listening and subscribing to the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast. If you're listening to this on any of the major podcast players, like iTunes, Google Podcasts, or Spotify, please go ahead and leave us a 5-star review and write a little bit in there. A couple of sentences is good enough. That actually helps us game those algorithms that I was just maybe addressing. And, of course, it helps us grow the show. Tell all your family, tell all your friends, and tell the leaders in your life that you know that need to be listening to this show that this show exists. By the way, if you want to get started on the leadership path yourself, or you know some people who need to go on the leadership path, HSCT Publishing, the home company of Leadership Toolbox and Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast, can help you and your team do that. So check out our training webinars, coaching services, and more at leadershiptoolbox.us. We are remote, we're live, we're in person, we're on video, and we've got leadership development solutions for your civic group, nonprofit staff, public sector staff, or even your private sector leaders. And of course, you're going to want to check out our video-based subscription service at leadingkeys.com. That's leadingkeys.com for leadership development on demand. You don't like videos, you don't like training, but you really like the podcast? Well, I would also recommend reading a book. Matter of fact, I'd recommend reading my most recent book, 12 Rules for Leaders, The Foundation of Intentional Leadership. You can get that in paperback, hardcover, or as an ebook on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Ingram Spark, and any other place that you order books online. Finally, of course, we're on YouTube just like everybody else is. We'd love to have you help us grow the YouTube channel, so like and subscribe to the video version of this podcast on the HSCT Publishing channel on YouTube. Just search for HSCT Publishing, or you can search for Leadership Toolbox and hit the subscribe button. Subscribing helps us grow the show, as it does with the audio, just is the same with the video. All right, that's it for me.